don't even care no more. We're just gonna do it our way. You know what I mean? See, we are live. I said screw the countdown. Let's just go and have some fun today. I don't even do the intro. Forget the intro today. We're just gonna go raw dogs. Like, no, that's just wrong terminology to use. That's just wrong. Oh, anyway. Okay, anyway. So we want to welcome everybody back to another episode of the Man's Podcast. Today is, I don't know what to call it, relationship / family. Yeah, fuck it. Relationship / family. You know, I'm Mark, your host. My co-host Rick. To the side of me and down at the bottom right here, we have Dr. Renette Coleman back for another episode. We're missing Chrissy, but Rick, thank you for joining me again. And Dr. Coleman, once again, thank you for coming back on.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I appreciate you both for having me and inviting me to come back. I enjoyed it the last time, so I'm looking forward to this conversation.
Excellent.
I guess on the urgency of Dr. Coleman was like, hey, we need to do another relationship episode. But I wanted to go a little different this time because we touched on last time. We touched on like prenups and I think social media. This one I wanted to touch on the opposite side of family, like your kids, how you're raising your kids, step families. It's a lot of topics, man, and a lot of the topics I admit I have went through myself. A lot of this shit is personal. Almost 50 years old. I mean, who hasn't been through a lot of shit? Especially relationship wise. I'm pretty sure. Well, Rick doesn't have any kids, right?
No, sir.
So, are you in the market to buy any?
God, I ain't buying nothing these days. I'm broke as can be.
No. Listen here, though, bro. I mean, they potty trained already. Right. The majority, and I know for myself and Dr. Renette, Dr. Coleman as well. I mean, we got ones in college. They working. I mean, they can cook.
Self-sufficient to a point. They walk and talk, on their own. They kind of do some things on their own. So it's definitely, you don't have to carry a diaper bag. So that's pretty good, But you do have to, stay behind them to take care of roles and, teaching them some, how to become like adults in
So
in this world. The adulting part, that's an interesting part of it because that adulting part is very interesting because when they tell you, when you have those inner conversations with yourself that says, nobody told me this about adulting, and adulting is really sucking right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you teach another person about you're in that moment of this sucks real bad, So yeah,
no, I don't know what to do. I don't even know what I'm doing for me yet.
Shit!
I tell mine, don't rush to grow up.
Right?
Don't rush.
We were fools for it.
Right. You gotta build. You gotta kind of build your momentum for this thing. So I'm very proud of them. I have 2 girls, and so it's a very interesting dynamic.
We about to get on that, how interesting that dynamic is. Well, before we get into kids, right? I got a question. Let me see. We can start with, you know what? Let's start with Dr. Coleman on this one, because I seen it somewhere and I heard it, and it kind of fucked me up because it's a good question. Let's say you went elementary school, maybe even junior high school. Remember the notes like, will you be my boyfriend? Will you be my girlfriend? Yes, no, maybe. So when the fuck did that change? Like, when do you consider yourself in a relationship? Dr. Coleman?
You froze a little bit, so ask that question again.
Oh, okay. When do you consider yourself in a relationship?
Okay. So for me, I think that the man has to lead that. So he has to say his intentions. So he's going to have to say, because if I have to say, so what are we? That's going to be problematic. Because if I have to say, what are we? Then we're not going to be anything. I'm not doing that.
Huh.
So he has to lead. He has to lead from the beginning. Even if now I might say like very subtly, I'll be subtle with my, I'm interested. I might do that part, but for the most part, I would like for him to lead, from the beginning to the end, because if I have to lead it, then that's going to be a problem throughout the relationship. So he has to know that he can lead. He has to know for himself. And I think that within 3 months to 6 months, he should be able to assess whether or not he wants to be in a relationship and what type of relationship that's going to be. At least from my perspective, that's what that. I mean, and here's the other part. I'm almost 50 years old, so yeah, there's not. I mean, if I was younger, if I was looking to have children, that might be something to to say like, oh, okay, we can maybe take a little bit more time, but no. Now at 50, hitting 50, nah. Within 3 to 6 months, he needs to know, what he wants to do here. So,
Rick.
and then he needs to present that.
Shit. See, that's why I was good. That's why this shit would not have worked with just me and you on the show, Rick.
Ain't working. We need outside opinions on this one.
Word, like because that question could have went somewhere else with another dude.
So what do y'all think?
Rick, yeah, what's your take on that?
See, I'm a firm believer that initially people are allowed to figure out what they're going for, what they want. But you need to make a decision quick. We are all getting way too old to be strung along. You know what I mean? There's just way too much going on to say, 6 months down the road, no, you can't hang out with nobody else, but we ain't together like that. Mm-hmm. Like, we're getting too old for that. If it ain't working, it ain't working. And I think as adults, we need to get to that point a lot quicker. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't working, say it ain't working. Let's move on. Let's not waste each other's time. That's the biggest thing and the hardest thing about being in a relationship, because you could vibe with someone and be like, yo, I just ain't feeling it. And it's going to hurt their feelings. You got to, I guess, rip that Band-Aid off.
Yes. Rip it off.
Yeah. As teenagers, you could have time to waste like that. You're still young. You're still trying to figure stuff out. But as adults, you know what? If it ain't working, hey, man, we can stay in touch. We can go out, chill, whatever. We could be friends. But we can be friends is probably the hardest thing to say as an adult, but it probably needs to be the easiest.
True.
It should be.
It's weird because
what about you?
You can talk to a person for, I don't know, a week, go on about 2 dates, and before you know it, you're in a relationship without even saying y'all in a relationship. You see it happen all the time. Like you be on the phone with someone, and then for a whole week, and before you know it, y'all in a relationship without saying, "Hey, we are together. Let's do this." It's funny, but it's not funny at the same time, because you thinking maybe the man or the woman, either one, it don't even matter. They're thinking, "Hey, I can talk to this other person," but the other person sitting there like, "You shouldn't be talking to another motherfucking soul because you and I went out to dinner 3 times."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you going in the basement.
Yo, now here you go again. Basement shit.
Listen, I don't care. We could try to play it all off all we want, but if that person is the first person you call when you reach for your phone, you're in a relationship. Let's be honest. If that's the first person you think of after you get out of a hard day's work, the first person you think of talking to, that's a relationship.
What? Yeah. That does make sense. I just want to go back to the old school notes. Like, I sent you a text message with about, like, what was it? What was the shit? Do you want to go together, or do you want to be my girlfriend? Yes, no, or maybe. Like, check one of the motherfucking boxes and let's go about our fucking business. Like, I miss those days.
That would be so much easier. But now you need so much more stuff. Like you need to know stuff. You need to know about their character, because that's part of the problem in itself. We done talked for a week, we didn't check the boxes, but we didn't check, like, does this person, this woman or this man have the character that I can grow with? Do they have the necessary, have they healed enough? Like, I believe that healing is going to take place and be ongoing. Healing is not going to be just you heal from a past relationship and that's it. But can they manage and can they help you along in your healing journey? You see what I'm saying? So for me, that's pretty much what it's a process.
All right, that makes sense. It's that's shit, man. Look, y'all do all the character healing shit. I'm gonna start sending you a box. I'm pretty sure I can make that shit up on the PDF file somewhere in Canva and just make a damn box. And that's gonna be the new phase. So what we at 2020 what 4? I'm gonna start that shit in 2025. It's gonna be called the fucking Go With Me box. Like I'm gonna get t-shirts made and every damn thing. Like I'll make my own fucking for prom. Fucking real. Look, I'm with it. Like, I mean, but it sometimes it does get confusing because no one talks anymore or talks about the little shit. They talk about the big shit, but they don't talk about the little shit as far as like, hey, as Dr. Coleman says, like, hey, what are we doing? No one says that anymore. It just gets to the point of,
that's right.
Especially in our community, we just say the famous words like, yo, don't get fucked up. When you tell a person don't get fucked up, that's pretty much saying you in a relationship. Don't talk to this other person, aka don't get fucked up. Absolutely. That means you're in a relationship. You committed, bro. No matter what the fuck you think. So, right. Like, yeah, if you ever hear that word come out of a woman's mouth, Rick, you might as well just go ahead and get the ring, bro, because you in a relationship.
Well, listen,
it's like touching back on a contract.
Yeah. Touching back on the whole 3 month, 6 month thing, I think that's the greatest point. Because let's be honest, when it comes down to this, and I don't even think this is on the schedule, so I'll bring it up now. We talk about these things because there's a real sense of finding out who that person is at that time. When it comes to your relationship, let's be honest, your first couple dates, it feels like people are kind of putting on a performance. They're probably not the best version of themselves. Once you've gone on a couple dates, you got a sense of the vibe. Okay, yeah, I really vibe with this person. Then you start to ease up a little bit, let a little bit more of your true self show. So by then you should know, yeah, this is working, and no, this isn't. I think.
So that's good because this is good because here's the other part. So what do men do to like infiltrate the representative? Because women don't do that very well. Women do not navigate the representative well when we need to. We really need to be that. We need to be a little bit more. We are often assertive on the wrong things. So we need to get beyond the kind of less acclimate. We need to be on that. Let's look at his character to see if we can, what does he look like in the morning? Not after like I want to know, like, do you have an Android or an iPhone?
What the fuck does that mean? What they got to do with this?
I want to see you in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to see, like, do you look like your picture or are you catfishing me? You see what I'm saying? Like, I need to know these things the same way men need to know those, those same things. Like, people are photoshopping, or if you will, what is this? The AI pictures. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many things that are out here that's not real about people that we don't know what is real. And character, one of the reasons why relationships fail is because we're not at the very beginning of the relationship, we're not vetting, if you will, or we're not seeing if we're not, I don't even like to use compatibility, but we're not making sure that we understand who the person is that we're in relationship with or we're trying to be in relationship with. Because there's some things that we know about the person. Like for myself, there were things that I knew about my ex-husband that wasn't going to go with, I wasn't going to gel with. And I made allowances, and I said to myself, you know, well, I can work with him. Why do I need to work with him? That sounds like that literally in my brain, I said I can work with him, thinking that was more of team language, when really that was son language, you know. And so years later, when we are in our lively discussions, I sunned him. You know, when I got
sunned him.
Yeah, I sunned him. You know, I didn't fight there. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do that. You know, when I got mad, you know, I was nice. You know what I'm saying? I was a kind of way until a certain point, and then I sunned him. And then guess what happened? Now it was bad. Don't talk to me like that.
She said I sunned him. Holy shit.
It was disrespectful.
That's a new one for me.
Disrespectful. I shouldn't have talked to him like that. However, if I paid attention to my own self-talk, guess what? We wouldn't have been married. I wouldn't have had children by him.
All right.
So that's why I said, how do we cut through from the beginning? And those are the things that if we think about that, then some of this other stuff that we deal with in the relationship could be stopped early.
Here was an interesting debate I saw on one of the social media sites. A lot of it was from a female side of things. They wanted to be wined and dined on the first date, and to me, that's silly. You're going in that first date looking to be wined and dined. They're looking to impress you. It's not about the first date. It's how they treat you on that second, that third, that fourth. Once they know who you are, if they keep that energy up, you know that they're putting in that effort. If they start to scale back and all of a sudden you're going to Applebee's instead of, you know, a fancy steak dinner,
right?
Others, you know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, Applebee's on a date night, y'all want to do that? It's cool. I'm down with Applebee's. I was about to
say now, I like me some fucking Applebee's right now. What we doing Applebee's?
No, I'm just saying, you know, once you guys are in a relationship and you decide, hey, that's, you know, we want that quick, you know, kind of family style dinner, that's cool. But if you're still on the, you know, courting phase, I guess is an older term for it, you know, where you're still trying to figure out if you're compatible or not, and that effort starts to scale back a little bit, then you kind of know that whether or not they're feeling you like that, in my opinion.
I agree.
And you brought up a good point, which takes me to the second question.
I would agree with that. Like,
and Rick just brought it up. The first date. I'll ask Lynette this because, well, I can't ask Rick this because I'm not trying to diddy him. So I have to exclude him from this, you know, this question. We don't want no fucking diddy issues over here. So yes, the questions will be directed towards, you know, Dr. Coleman on this regard. So, Dr. Coleman.
Yes.
You call me and say, hey, Mark, let's go out. Let's go to a fucking movie. Let's go to a play. Let's go out to eat. The fucking check comes. Who's paying? Mm-hmm. Me or you?
Is that a trick question?
Nah, it's a real question.
So I think it depends. It depends on what ground, like kind of what ground rules that you led in the beginning of the relationship. I think that's how that goes, because as a woman, I should be able to ask and I should be able to say, you know, I would like to go to such and such, you know, I would like to do this. And if you say yes, you know, there are times, however, that I can say, hey, honey, I just, you know, I wanted us to go to a play. So I've already bought the tickets, you know, this, and this. These are the dates, you know, and so I think that that's fine as well. You know, or it could be a cruise and surprise, it's for your birthday. You know, these types of things should be, that should happen. There should not be, like he should pay all the time, or, you know, you should pay, a woman should pay all the time. It should be, there should be times when we're celebrating each other. But of course, again, it goes back to how a man leads. He may decide that when we go out to dinner, I'm always paying. Now, that doesn't mean that all the money is coming from his pocket, because they might be in joint account. They might have a joint account. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, anything can, those things can be, it could look any kind of way, but, he leads in that, in what that looks like. He talks about those types of things, because I think that's what is missing. The leadership in relationships is missing. Here's the other part of that, going back to what Rick was saying. Part of the problem is this soft life, or this glam life, or these illusions. I call them optical illusions, because social media will have us believe that that's what we want. We don't know. That's not real. And so, because if it's not real, then what happens is, again, we are then in these false relationships, and they don't last long, and they don't work, because again, it's part of the representative and not the real person and the character of the person. We didn't vet that. So I think that this is all part of that initial conversation.
All right. Look at that. Dr. Coleman out here dropping gems. Rick, so if you ask the female out, or the female asks you out, who's picking up the bill?
If I personally ask someone out, I'm picking up the bill. If someone asks me out, like, say, use the example of going to a play, going to a theater, whatever the case may be, I might try to sneak in. Okay, cool, we're gonna do that, but let me pay for dinner at least. I might try to participate a little bit there. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind being treated. If someone wants to treat me, by all means, I'm all for it. But when it comes down to it, I think it all comes down to, again, putting in the effort. Are we making an effort, or are you just letting this person pay for every single time you go out? Are you constantly being like, nah, you got this one? If you're not equally sharing the load, then that's a problem. If you're not making the effort to be the one to make, hey, let's go out this weekend, let's go to the theater, let's do something. If you're always waiting for someone to make that first move, I don't think that's a healthy relationship.
That's another damn good point. Me personally, look, I asked you out. That's because maybe I woke up hungry, and I'm like, yo, you know what? I want to take her out. Yeah, let's go out. And like Dr. Coleman said, movie and plays, that shit that's more well thought of in advance. Like, hey, your birthday's coming, I'll go get the ticket a month or two in advance. But if I just call you up and like, yo, I'm hungry, you hungry, let's go out to eat. That's me asking you pretty much on a date. So that's my responsibility to take care of that. If you call my damn phone and be like, yo, let's go to the fucking Ruth Steak and whatever that shit is. Of course, Ruth's Chris house, whatever, steakhouse. Yeah, you call my phone, you ask me, so you better be coming out your pocket. So, I'm sorry, you asked me. I didn't ask you to go to the motherfucking steakhouse. You call and ask me. Now, if I call and ask you to go to the steakhouse, that shit is on me. Because you probably thinking, I want some chicken nuggets or some shit. I want something quick. I'm thinking, let's go get some T-bone. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, like, but once again, that's how you get to know a person. There's nothing wrong with y'all taking turns or people going Dutch. People look at Dutch and they like, ew, it ain't no fucking ill. You fucking hungry too.
Right.
Like, come on with that shit. But, and I get what Dr. Coleman is saying is also, a man sets that standard. First date, as a man, yo, I got it. Because that is my standard to set. Mm-hmm. However, once we get in that imaginary, non-talkative relationship that we talked about earlier that no one, put a title to, you know what I'm saying? Now we gotta start talking about, I won't say taking turns, but we take care of each other at the fucking end of the day, man. This shit is a partnership, yo. You fucking take care of other, and don't worry, That topic is later on down the line. Oh, yeah, I got some nice topics now.
We ready.
Oh, for anybody listening, because we talked about it before we went live. I did not let these two know what we were going to talk about today because I wanted to get their honest opinion. I didn't want them to do any research on shit. I wanted to get their honest.
You set us up, y'all.
Yeah, I set them the fuck up. You damn right I did. Only I know what we're talking about. But I did want to set them up because there's nothing like the art, the element of surprise, because you get people's true feelings with the element of surprise. You can't hide shit, and we on camera, and people are watching right now, so you gotta try that other shit. Anyway, on to the next one. Ooh, okay, this is a good one right here. I'll let y'all see this shit pop on the screen first before I even ask y'all and see how y'all feel about that one.
Oof.
Now.
Bang.
This can go back to the check the mark box, or will you be my girlfriend? Will you be my boyfriend? Blah 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 blah. Interesting thing. Goldie Han and Kurt Russell have been together. I don't know, 40 or something. How many fucking years they've been together? They have never been married. They've never married each other.
Over 30, I think.
Yeah. Over fucking 30. I mean, they got children and stepkids and whatever the case may be. However, what works for them may not work for the next person. So when you're in a relationship, Rick, what is your time frame to say, all right, either I'm going to marry this woman or I'm going the other fucking way? Or do you have a time frame?
Personally, I don't even think I have a time frame. Like, obviously, it's not like, hey, we just started dating last month, let's get married. No.
Damn, Rick, you a fast mover and shit. Damn, that's not even a whole season of a TV show yet.
That's less than that. That's less.
Shit, wait, quick.
Yeah. Than a 90-day fiance.
I think we talked about it early in the show, properly vetting someone. There's a lot on the table when it comes to marriage. You can know. They talk about someone being the one. You can know when you know more about that person. There's so much to discuss and so much to get to know about people before you make that decision. Like one of the biggest hot buttons in America right now are political differences, and if that's something you've never talked about, if it's something like having kids that you've never discussed, you have no business talking about marriage. You know what I mean? There's so many more variables that you're not going to find out until after you're married, and you're like, I'm not really compatible with this person at all. Why did I marry him? And that's why so many marriages fail, because everybody's so fascinated. They want to hit the fast forward button into marriage, but there's so much you don't know about that person still. Yeah, they treat you good. Yeah, they make you laugh. Yeah, they'll buy you flowers and whatnot. But are you guys on the same page? If it's not with, let's say, 75, 85, 90% of your life choices, then you're rushing it.
Rick, look, damn, Rick, you fucking surprising me. See, that's why I'm going to tell you what the hell we was talking about.
Look, that's good stuff right there. Because you're right. Those things become nuances later in the relationship. Whether it's religion, whether it's race, politics, health care, all of those types of things. I mean, can you imagine finding out that your partner, your significant other, does not want to be cremated, and you done paid for it already? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, what do you mean you don't want to be cremated? I thought we both agreed we're gonna be cremated. Nah, you agreed. I want a whole funeral. You know what I'm saying? Like, these types of things, this is the problem. We have to talk about these things. It has to be thought out and being thoughtful, because these are the nuances that create rifts in the relationship later. Not only do they create rifts, here's another part of that. It's how you raise children. It's who's going to be, like the disciplinarian. How do you discipline your children? Who has the final say, or what are your disciplinary measures? That's another area that's a big area, especially, even after a marriage dissolves. I'm sorry about that. Even after a marriage dissolves, that becomes a really big issue. Does the relationship because the relationship dissolved, does it stay as it was? Discipline stay as it was before, or what? These are things that we, have to be talked about.
Yeah, look at y'all too. See. My plan is working flawlessly. So
you're gonna take all the credit over here.
Hey, you got that right. I am. As the host, you there right. I am.
All the credit.
But no. They were very two good answers. I just the time frame on marriage thing, that is a tricky one because you don't want to force no one to do anything they don't want to do just because you think you may be ready. And a lot of that also comes from people who have never been married before.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're dealing with someone who has never been married, their mind frame is different than yours. Because they're thinking hey, I'm about to jump into this nice, harmonious thing. Nah, bruh, that shit is not what you think it is.
You really want to find out, and this might be a generic qualifier, but man, if you really want to find out if you're ready to be married with someone, live with them for a consistent amount of time, because you're going to find out what they really like, what, little things that'll annoy you, right? Like them leaving their shoes in the wrong spot in the house when they walk in the door, throwing their coat on the floor, stuff like that. If you're not ready for all those little nuances, if you're not ready for all that's who a person really is. Everybody puts on a show when you don't live together, because you get mad, you go home. You know what I mean? If you are in a relationship that you can't leave that person when you're pissed off, it's going to show you what you're really ready for.
That shit is about one of the truest damn
statements. My mom told me that she and my dad, she said that my mom said that they should have lived in separate households. They would have still been married. So
what the fuck? What? Wait.
My mom said,
like what? He live across the street and shit, and she live. How the fuck? Okay, I mean,
mommy. She's mommy keep it 100%. She said, yeah. Who knew?
I mean, at the same time, I guess that's a hell of a booty call, though. Like, yo, what you doing? Like, I'm sitting over here in the window watching your ass. Like,
so I mean, I just think. But we don't. But going back to your example, though, let's go to your example of Goldie Han. Let's think about how big their house is. Let's think about their resources. What are we really arguing about? And here's the other part of that. The other part is, if something were to happen to one or the other, they are still okay by themselves because of their own wealth and their own things. So it wasn't like they needed the other person. You see what I'm saying? Like, they didn't need the wealth of the other person. So I think that's part of the problem that we often deal with. And that's why it doesn't often work for us regular people, because part of it is there's protection in marriage. So your resources, my resources, it's protected in marriage for my spouse. Can we draft up some legal documents and things like that outside of marriage? Probably, but my family can contest it. You see what I'm saying? So marriage gives more of a binding contract that the law acknowledges, that gives more protections, and not only protections for the spouse, but also protection for children. Here's the other part of that, because again, it goes back to the things that we have to talk about before marriage. What happens, like at this point, when you're a single parent, you have life insurance. If something happens, how do my children, they could inherit, but my children are young. What do I want? Do I want my ex-husband to have my stuff? Absolutely the hell not.
Absolutely the hell not. I mean, no. you really meant that shit. Absolutely the hell not.
I do not. So therefore, no, don't touch none of my stuff. Okay. So therefore, there has to be protections in place. And so that many times single parents do not, even as single parents, not just thinking about this in marriage or before marriage, but single parents don't often think about that. And here's the other part of that. Even single parents that become married or, marry someone who is not their child's biological parent. What happens in the event that parent passes? Does the married parent become the guardian of that child? How does that child inherit? What happens, for the provisions for that child? These are all things that have to be discussed. And guess what? We're not discussing these things. There are fewer people discussing those things or considering those things.
Oh, no. We discussing them shits today because that's another topic.
Before marriage.
That is another topic.
I think about stuff like that. I think about what if.
As you should. And the reason you think like that is because
I don't want my ex-husband and his wife living in my shit.
What the fuck?
I'm just saying.
Lord, as you said, absolutely the hell not. Like that's another T-shirt right there.
Okay.
Now, this one right here.
Look, let me write it down now.
Yeah, you need to write that shit down. You put that shit in graffiti letters and all kind of shit right there. All right. This next question or topic, whatever the hell you want to discuss. This up here because this is a very personal one for me. A tennis. You're in a relationship, especially anybody that knows me. I don't care if it's romantically or we just friends or we family. I fucking hate the telephone. Like, I despise talking on a fucking phone. Yes, I know it's fuck up, it's juvenile, it's young, whatever the hell you want to call it. I just hate it. Because, for one, I'm a very, very busy person. Whether I'm at work or even when I'm at home, I'm always doing something. So if I got to take my time out to talk on the phone, that must mean you are very important to me. I just can't. I'm not a dude that's going to sit on the phone with you to hear you fucking breathe or to hear you fall asleep on me. Because I am no longer 12 years old. Like, oh, baby, ooh, we fell asleep on the phone last night. I don't give a flying. I'm 50 years old. I might fall asleep in 2 fucking seconds. Like, that shit is not sexy to me at all. So I say that to say this. Anybody listening, whoever dealt with me or had plans to deal with me or whatever the case may be.
Not plans.
Mark hates the fucking telephone. Now, I say this to say this. And please listen when I do say this. My time is valuable. I'm not saying I'm some fucking superstar. It's my fucking time, yo. I work hard at my fucking job. Anybody knows what I do, you know I work my ass off at what I do. I have a 4-hour fucking commute to work. And I work still. So that's 12, 13 hours. I'm out of my fucking house. So when I come home and you like, yo, let's talk. I'm looking, you must be out of your goddamn fucking mind. Now, you can send me a text. I'll text you all fucking day because I can still write articles. I can text you while I'm doing a fucking podcast right now. Like, I can still text, it's still personal to me. So, let's say Dr. Coleman calls my phone. I pick up. Someone calls my phone while I'm on the phone with her. I do not get off the phone with Dr. Coleman. Why? Because she has my attention. So if I'm on the phone with you and you call and you tell me, like, hey, I got another call, I will call you back. Please do not call me the fuck back. Because that means someone else was more priority over my fucking time. Do not do that. I have been on the phone with people, like I have called people, I guess, and they would send me a text message back like, hey, I'm on the phone. I'll call you back. That shit is probably one of the most disrespectful things you can do to me. I hate that. I truly, truly fucking hate that. And Rick, why the fuck can't I see you?
I had to step away real quick. I'm still here.
And for my kids, if I'm on the phone with, with someone, and even my kids call, I tell them in a minute, yo, shoot me a text message, whatever the fuck you want, text it to me, and I'll decide how important that shit is, and I can end my conversation. Because if you have my time, that means there's something I want to say to you, or something I want to listen as you say to me, meaning pretty much you're important for me to talk to. So, you get me on the phone. Do not get me on the phone for 2 minutes. Like, yo, let me call you right back. Because I'm going to tell you, please do not call me right the fuck back. Because that means I am not priority. I am not a fucking priority for you. Plain and simple. You have to be attentive when you're talking to me. Because you have my full attention. There's no one's going to come in between our conversation. And I mean that. I have proven that. No one, not even my children, will come in the middle of that conversation because my children know if you call me, let me send my dad a text to see if it's, you know what I'm saying? Because it's nothing important. They might want some money. Send me the text message. Right. Let me know how much you fucking want. My family calling. It's not important. Send me the text message. Like, yo, are you busy? Like, yo, we need to really talk. Like, I just called you. If you just called me and I didn't answer, send me the text message. Like, yo, can you hit me right back? Then I know, oh, shit, something wrong. But that person that I'm talking with on that phone, y'all have my undivided attention, and I will not let anything break that. All I ask is, give me that same fucking courtesy that I gave you. Because what you don't want to hear is me out in the street dealing with another fucking female, because all I'm going to tell you is, she gave me the fucking attention that I wanted from you, but you didn't give it to me because you wanted to talk to your friend Diane while you was talking to me. Her conversation was more important. So yes, am I being petty? You fucking right, I'm being petty because it's my fucking time. That's all I got to say about that shit. So Renette, how do you feel about people fucking up your personal time?
My time is important. My time is money. That's exactly how I put it. My time is my money. And so my money is my time. So I can be doing anything on my time. And so you had mentioned something about you write. You are a writer, so you can write on your time. And there's other things that you can do on your time that can yield something else. And so for me, my time is an investment. And so I don't want anybody to waste my time. And so I get to choose that. And so if I'm investing my time into a person because I find him interesting, or I find it fruitful, or if I find that the time that is spent is valuable, then I need him to know that I find him valuable, and I want him to be attentive. I want him to be understanding. I want him to, I want him. And here's the other part of that, because I'm not really reciprocation is not going to be. That's not going to be the word that I'm going to use. And the reason why I'm saying that is because that is not the reason why I move the way I move in relationship. I don't move thinking that if I do this, he's going to do this. I do it because I desire to do it. I show up the way that I show up because I desire to show up for him that way, because I want him to know that I want to be with him, or I want to serve in that capacity of the relationship, not because I want to get something from him. I want him to give because that's what he wants to do in the relationship. So I think that, that type of giving, I need him to know that that's why I am giving the time, because I deem him valuable. I feel that he is, I know that he is valuable. And I'm choosing him over something else, because you are absolutely right, Mark, especially, and Rick, these kids of a certain age, they will text you, and that text will be like this. This is mom. Yes. Mom. Yes. Mom.
I'm sorry.
Yes. What do you want? Mom. What the hell do you want? Like, where are you? I'm in the same place you left me. What? Like, what are you talking about? So, these the text messaging, and I need some money. Okay, for what? I don't know yet. I can get it. But what do you need it for? And how much do you need? I don't know yet. What do you mean you don't know?
Get back to me when you figure it out.
Like, you have $500 for what? Like, what are you doing? Are you bailing somebody out of jail?
I literally have no comment on what you just said, because you know what? I'm gonna leave that one alone.
You got a phone call like that one time.
Hell yeah.
What do you need $500?
I gotta take my headphones off for a minute. I remember that conversation very, very vividly.
What you mean? My youngest one is famous for those kinds of conversations because I'm thinking about this is her. I'm thinking about a PlayStation. What you need a PlayStation for? You got this. And she is a techie. She's a gamer. Okay. So she's talking about, she's trying to get me to invest in a pre-build. Okay. And then she drops the language so that she's letting me know that I need to understand that she's very serious about this. And so she's already let me know that $700 is just, that's flat out right there at the very bottom of where we trying to go. You know what I'm saying? Because
that's your starter kit.
If she could get to about 1,000,
yeah, exactly.
Right. 1,000 might get her 2 monitors. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like I'm being hustled, but she's using the vocabulary, and I can check it in, with some people that I know. So,
Rick, how do you feel about once again, your personal time? How important is that to you?
Well, I'm the type of person, and this, again, it might make me petty, but, like, I hate being on hold. Like, let's be honest. Like, that is the number one. It's one of my biggest pet peeves. Like, we're sitting here, we're talking, and, like, be in the middle of a good conversation. Hold on, I got another call. Yeah. Now, I'm not rude. If it's an emergency, you might have to take that call. But if I'm sitting on that phone for, like, 15, 20 minutes, like, click back over real big, bro, it's an emergency. Let me call you back, whatever. Or I'll get back to you later. No big deal. But I hate being on a drive home from work and someone put me on hold, or I hate being like just getting into a TV show and someone put me on hold. And it's like, I understand. Please believe I want to talk to all my friends. I want to talk to everybody. I am not being rude about that. But like, if I take the time to talk to you and I could be doing something else, like I'm obviously not at work, so I'm not putting in work right now. This is my time. This is like my time to relax, time to unwind. And if you're gonna cut into that, then I don't want it to be a distracted kind of thing. Like I don't want to sit here while you're on the phone and like carrying on a conversation with your mom in the background. You know what I mean? Like it drives me nuts because like if I'm taking time out of my day to make you a priority, respect that time.
Look, I totally agree. And the last one before we jump to the next one that I hate is something happened. And you be like, hey, I'm going to hit you back. And you do not call me the fuck back. Do not send me a text message the next day like nothing fucking happened. Like, it could be like you meant to call me back or you fell asleep. And then you text me the next day, be like, yo, what's up? I'm sitting here looking at my phone like, yeah, so the block button, it goes like, how do you hit that? Because once again, all you got to do is say, yo, my bad. Something came up. I fell asleep. Like, take accountability for your fuck up.
Right.
Because once again, you're showing me I'm not high on that priority list. First of all, I'm not going to try my best not to fall asleep on you. If I say I'm going to call you back, guess what? I'm going to call you the fuck back. Plain and simple. And if I don't, you will get an apology from me. You might not like my apology, but I'm still going to apologize. However, if you take that shit, that's between you and your fucking phone. I ain't got nothing to do with your fucking feelings. Anybody know? That is one of my favorite fucking sayings. I ain't got nothing to do with your fucking feelings. Trust and believe. I don't care. I really fucking don't. But I will say, I'm sorry, my bad. I'll try to do better. But when you don't get that back, what you're doing for me is you're opening the fucking door for the next person to come in, and I would gladly let them in. And when you ask why, I will say, because she called back. Because she texted back and said, my bad. Yes, I can be that fucking petty or whatever you fucking want to call it. But at 50 years old, I value my time more than I value damn near anything else because I don't know how much of this shit I got left in me. And once again, I love to do shit. I still sell clothes. I still work. I still write articles. I still do a podcast. Like, nigga, my life is not me coming home from work and I'm just sitting here watching the new episode of fucking Law and Order. That is not my fucking life. That has never, ever been my life. I am a fucking hustler, B. I am going to constantly be on the move. So if I stop doing what I'm doing to take your call, you are important to me. So please show me that same respect. And I know that was a lot to say, but like I said, it was very, very fucking personal to me. Because there's a lot of motherfuckers who do that shit, and I'm not going to point y'all names out because I know some of y'all probably watching right now. Y'all probably saying, is this motherfucker talking about me? If you got to ask that question, guess what? I fucking am. Yeah. And if you don't like it, here's my phone right here. I got this shit in my hand. Call me. Text me about it while I'm online. I'll put your ass on speaker so everybody can fucking hear you. Once again, I'm about that life. But anyway, all right. So wait, let me get this laugh out first. I'm still laughing off the Addy thing, but that's a whole other subject. All right. Oh shit. All right. So career versus love. Now, for those that don't know, I've known Dr. Coleman for I don't even know how fucking long.
Long time.
We went to college together.
Long enough to lose count.
Word. And at one point, I know she wanted to kill me. Because it's something I did not know. Something that I really did not know. It was not meant to be disrespectful. I just did not fucking know. What I mean by that is, I thought every principal in this fucking world had a doctorate. And she knew what I'm talking, because I brought that to her attention. I remember that conversation. She felt some type of way about that. I did not fucking know. So, like me, I am, like I tell my kids, I am a worker. I am a blue collar individual. Dr. Coleman is a career individual. Most of the people I know are career individuals. And Dr. Coleman, I will start with you. Would you ever pick love over your career, or is it career over love?
Is that for me?
Yes, Dr. Coleman.
Okay. So, I will say this, that I do, I think because we've known each other for such a long time, I think that was where the offense was. It wasn't so much that I thought you should know because I thought you should know, mainly because we've known each other for such a long time. But I will say this, that one of the things that I have had to ensure that I do is that I don't lead with that, because it is very difficult. I think sometimes it is very difficult for men to, unless they are career driven as well, or have been career driven. I do not have the same grind that I used to.
Rick, we can hear you.
When I was looking to work. What?
Rick punching them damn keys like he typing a fucking dissertation.
I can hear it.
I don't know why it doesn't pick up on my earphones. It only picks up the damn keyboard microphone.
I can hear it.
My apologies.
I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry, Renee. I'm sorry.
So so for me, I try not to lead with it, but of course, it's generally what I go by, so I think because my grind is very different, like it's more of an intellectual, it's more of, I could be at home working on projects, I can be with my family, with my children, so like it's just different. I'm not away for as long periods of time like I used to be. I think that for me, it is about choosing love. It is about choosing, because that's where I'm at my best, is when I am, see, my children are shady. Okay. My children are shady.
Very much.
They are firm believers that I'm better when I have, when I have a man. That's them. That's what they say. But in my life. And so I don't know how true that is, but I do know that I think that men and women are built for relationships. And I think that we do show up in our best selves when we are well loved. And that's what I want my children to see, is that I want them to see that their mom can be loved well. And so for me, that is the goal. And sometimes the parts of the career, I would be very grateful to have a man in my life that had wisdom and understanding about their people, nuance, all different kinds of things, to be able to, give that wisdom, share that wisdom, and guidance. And I think that is the part of, relationships that, that men and women, they gain from each other. The same way that a woman can tell her husband, honey, watch her, because she's doing a little too much. She's hanging out a little too close to you. You might want to be careful on your lunch break. If she's bringing you something to eat, don't eat it. She might be doing too much. So she might get you.
Shit, I'm hungry. I'm going
caught up. Those are the types of things that that you gotta be careful about these.
I want to eat.
What did Chris Brown say? These hoes ain't loyal. I'm just saying.
Can they cook? I don't give a fuck.
You just gotta be careful. You gotta be careful.
I gotta eat shit. But no, I'm just fucking around.
Gotta be very careful out here.
Good point right there, Rick. I mean, I know it's a fucked up sided question, especially be put on the spot with people watching, like, yo, this motherfucker won't pick career or love, or so. Rick, I mean, like Dr. Coleman said, it's a balance. But in your Rick type of way, what are you choosing?
Oh, well, here's the biggest deciding factor there. You say career versus love, and I think the love is the key point in that statement, because you can love a person and you can love your career, and I think that's a very hard line to cross. If you're working a 9-to-5 job that you're just like, you're going through the motions on, and you don't want to give up for someone, are you really happy at that job? Like, do you really need that job to be a better person? No. Why are you choosing that job over someone? But if this is your dream job and you're going after your dream and you've thought about this your entire life, if that is what you've worked towards, if that's what you sacrifice for, are you willing to sacrifice more just to have someone involved in your life? The biggest ask is, where are you sacrificing? Are you going to be miserable because you chose the wrong one? That's the biggest deciding factor. Are you going to look back at this and go, man, I gave up on something I really wanted to do my entire life, and then we've talked about it all show long. It didn't work out because we didn't have those discussions. Now I am behind in where I want to be in my life because I chose the wrong thing. So it's a very hard line. I think that's a discussion you want to have. Like, again, if someone is willing to sacrifice, and if someone can make concessions to make you a better person, choosing someone isn't that hard. But if you're giving up everything you are just to make that person happy, you're going to be miserable later on.
Right. I agree. What?
Rick out here sound like a damn fucking Lifetime movie and shit. You got me all in my feels and shit. Like, career versus love. Look, nigga, I don't fucking know. I mean, like, real shit, I'll pick love all day, because if it works out correctly, she and I we're gonna build what we're gonna build, and we can get that money together. No career is more important than my family. It has never been and never fucking will be. I'll drop everything for them. So the career part doesn't even make fucking sense to me, and not because I don't really have a so-called white collar career. Family is everything to me. Always have been, and and it always will be. Hell, at times it's not even my own blood. You know what I mean? And that's the truth. Once again, to know me is to know how I am with other people's children. I talk shit about my kids because, well, fuck, I care my fucking kids. Today is Wednesday. Maybe I just don't like their asses today. You know, maybe tomorrow is something fucking different. And
depends on if they ask you for that $500 or not.
Word. Right. Sad part is I'm pretty sure one of them probably watching the show right now. So you probably the one I don't like today. Like, but no, let me stop.
And they're gonna ask for the 500.
And they're still gonna ask you. While we talking, I'm saying checking my phone. I'm waiting for that shit to go ding. Like, right. Know it. But on another note, on another sneaky, quiet note, I did promise the people. I kind of promised them something for this week. So we're going to start a little bit with, one of these joints. And let's see what we got popping off. Today is the first Rich Kid giveaway from the Mass Podcast. If you don't know what Rich Kid is, I suggest you fucking pick up a phone and start to Google some shit. I'm not here to explain to you what it is. But if you're watching the show and you know me, I'm pretty sure you know what it is. So today is the first ever Mass Podcast Rich Kid giveaway. So what I ask is type the answer to the question in the comment box. Everybody, even my guest and my co-host, can answer the question if they want to. I'll go with the first 3 correct answers. So, once I pose a question, you got until, I don't know what, 15 after 7? Yeah. You know what? I'm fucking until I see 3 correct answers. So, we ready?
What year did Rich Kid Clothing make its debut? What year did Rich Kid Clothing make its debut? What year did Rich Kid Clothing make its debut? What year did Rich Kid Clothing make its debut? What year did Rich Kid Clothing make its debut? What year did Rich Kid Clothing make its debut? What year did Rich Kid Clothing make?
That's all you get. Now figure this shit out. Don't be trying to look shit up. I mean, actually, you can.
I'm not looking it up. Look, I have to get my phone. I got to get my stuff connected. That's what Rick was doing.
I'm not even going to answer because I'm going to get kicked off the show if I don't know.
Now, that's for anybody listening. If you got the answer, just, hit it in the comments and, you'll win you a Rich Kid, I don't know, shirt, hat, sweatpants, hood. I mean, whatever the fuck I just feel like giving you is at my discretion. So once again, you ain't got to pay for it. So why the fuck would you care what the fuck I gave you? It's fucking free. Yeah, I know I'm a rude ass dude sometimes, right? But just answer the damn question. In case you missed it, I'll play it again for you.
What year did Rich?
Yeah, listen closely.
What year did Rich Kid Clothing make its debut? What year did Rich Kid Clothing make its debut? What year did Rich Kid Clothing make its debut?
All right, that's all you get. Now, we're going to jump to the next damn thingamajigger. And, maybe later on I might do a second one. I don't know. Depends on how I'm feeling. I don't know. But, okay, somebody got to come in. I'm pretty sure it's one of y'all. I'm acting like I don't even see that shit. All right, let's see what the first joint is. I saw there's a way that. Wait a minute, is that it? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's how you do it. My first time doing it, I figured out how to put it onto the screen now. So Dr. Coleman says 1996. Now, would y'all like me to tell her if she's right or wrong? I can't, because if I say she's right, y'all can say, oh shit, everybody gonna put 1996. Therefore, I'm like, you're not a bunch of free shit. Yeah, I'm not gonna say any fucking thing. But she gave me her answer. Now I know how to put it on the screen and shit. I'm learning, but I saw somebody else do that shit. That's how I figured out how to do that shit. All right, so we're gonna jump to the next topic real quick while people, give their answers. You got time to give the answer, so if you want to Google shit up, you can Google it all you want. Because honestly, real shit, the answer is like right in front of y'all face. Once you Google, even though I did kind of shut the website down because I'm building a new one, but y'all kind of figure that shit out. Yeah. All right, so we did the career versus. Oh shit! You know what? Let's skip these for a minute and let's get to the nitty gritty. Damn, Rick. Just, you know what? Fuck it. I don't really, somehow this could touch you. You get married. But he or she, depending on, depending on what you're doing in your life and depending on who you are, he or she has kids already. How hard is it, do you think it would be to do a blended family? Or how hard is it, do you think it would be to be a parent to someone else's kids? Rick, I'll start with you. I don't know if you had that personal experience, but do you think you can make that adjustment?
Me personally, I think I can. I know not everybody else can. I don't know.
You said that shit like a politician.
Listen, but that's just it. I don't know what everybody's hang up with it is.
You didn't give me it, did he?
Yeah. But listen, it's so weird for people to have this hang up or like this sort of disconnect with children. I mean, like, you're being mad at children, or you're being disconnected with children who have no clue what life is yet, and you're judging them on a prior relationship. But personally, I think if you are in that scenario, if you ever end up in a scenario where you have to be in a relationship where these kids are going to see you as someone their parent is dating, you have to 100%. The first thing you need to understand, the first thing you have to be 100% comfortable with, and if you're not, don't even bother. You have to be comfortable with, until those children are grown, you are not the most important person in their life. You just got to be comfortable with it. That's just what it is. Their kids are always come first, and they should. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think people want to be in a relationship and they want to be loved and they want to be the most important persons in that person's life, but they're not. You're still raising a family over here. You know what I mean? That person has responsibilities, and it damn sure ain't you at the start. Once that person or their children are old enough to get a job, go to college, or whatever, you could be the most important person. But until then, you're not. In my opinion, at least.
Rick, that's the God honest fucking truth right there. Dr. Coleman, do you think that you can be a great stepmother?
I think that I can. Yes and no. Like, I'm gonna say it that way, because I don't think of myself like to mother children that have, like, I don't want to overstep my boundaries as a parent for children who have a parent. I want to be respectful of their mother. I think sometimes that can be difficult, especially if they live primarily with their mother. As my children live primarily with me, I think initially when, because when he married his current wife, I think that, the ask was for them to call her this, the stepmom, like mom or something to that effect. That was an offense to me, because just because she was his wife did not make her their mom. And so I'm very careful with how I approach that now, because that won't make me their like a mother or a mom. That is very, very much something, I have to earn their respect. I would have to earn their respect, and they would have to get to know me, to know that that the name that they would give me is something that they choose. And so, as far as parenting is concerned, absolutely, I would utilize all my resources to ensure that all my knowledge, everything that I have, to ensure that they were taken care of, and to ensure that the opportunities that my own children have, that they have as well. So absolutely on that front.
All right. Shit, great. Hey, look, I agree with both of y'all. All right. Fuck. Yeah, I have been a step parent. I don't know how many times over. Shit, I've been married twice. Even the one I haven't been married to, my son's mother already had a kid. You know, I'm still cool with everybody, even women that I've dated in the past. You know, some of my relationships with their kids is fuck as good as even one with my blood children. And people, fuck. I guess some people would never understand that. Just because you and a person don't deal with each other anymore, how the fuck does that affect the kids? Like real shit. Like if I built a rapport, a relationship with your children, and we don't fuck around anymore like that, being who I am, my heart would not allow me to stop fucking with your children just because we don't fuck around no more. Like, you know, I built a relationship with them. You know, I don't quit them as soon as I quit you, because at some point they were looking at me as a role model. So I just up and just vanished out their fucking life. What the fuck does that do to them? Does that help their trust in men? Fuck no. That's going to hinder their fucking like. Come on, we got to think about that shit as we get older. Like if I was 20 something, yeah, I probably would dish you when you're a kid. No shit, I'm 20. I don't fucking know anything. But the older I get, the more I understand relationships and what we mean to these young kids coming up. There's kids right now that I'm pretty sure that can call me right now and say the wildest shit to me. That's not my children. They can ask me for any motherfucking thing, and they would get it. They're not my kids, but however, I have established something with them that, no offense to the mothers out there, even the fathers, my nigga, you will not break that. And I don't mean that to disrespect any father out there, because those are your kids. You will never, ever break the bond I got with your children, because that is my fucking bond. You got your bond, I have my bond. And I say that because I was raised by a man who was not my biological father. All my life, this man raised me. He was not my biological dad. I had a dad or a father, or however the fuck you want to, you know, separate the two. I don't give a fuck how you do it. But I had one and I had the other. So I know what it takes. I know what it looks like. I don't know that shit from a book. I don't know that shit from a TV show. I know it from real life experience. So please don't ever come to me quoting some book shit, because I'm going to smack you with the fucking book. Because all you're doing is reading someone else's fucking experience until you live through shit and know what it's like to raise someone else's fucking kid. Nigga, that shit is not fun.
Right.
Because the first minute y'all have a disagreement, what's the first thing out they fucking mouth?
Oh, you not my mom.
Not my dad.
So, I raised I shared in raising my nephew. Okay. I adore him. You know, I adore him and in the time that I had with him. And so they grow up and make choices, and those choices that they make, that's not what they were taught when they were, you tried your best to instill those things, but he knows to this day, though he went back to live with his mom, he knows to this day when there is trouble or good times or bad times, he knows my number. My number has not changed. I believe that in like what Mark was saying, there's a continuity and a consistency that children need. Even if in the relationship is broken between the adults, we do that for children because we know when it wasn't done for us. We know how we felt when it wasn't done for us. And so I think sometimes instead of parenting from a place of the trauma and in the place of trauma, we parent from the place of healing, and that healed place says, how do I do it better? And I do it better by doing it this way. And so he knows that he can call me when there's, whatever's going on with him. He didn't have to live in my household, for the last several years to know that if he needed something, that I would be there in support of him, But one thing that I did know, boys are very different. Raising boys is very different than girls. They smell different and everything.
You trying to say these things?
I'm telling you, they do. They do. Okay, little boys smell ass and feet. Okay, ass and
You know
feet.
what? I ain't gonna go there right now because you know what? Because I ain't gonna say what. Boy, look now.
Listen, let me tell you.
Okay, you right though. I ain't gonna lie, but
I'm gonna get up, put some deodorant on. I'll be right back.
Yeah, like yeah. We are some stinky little motherfuckers though. Shit, we grown and we stinky, so it don't even matter. But no, she ain't lying. But
I think I would like to jump back in on that.
Go ahead.
I think as adults we kind of overanalyze that, but when it comes to kids, the most important part is it's hard for kids to open up to anyone. You know, as adults, it's easy for us to not easy. It's easier for us to express our emotions. It's easier for us to move on for someone that, you know, okay, you've lost a loved one in your time. You've moved on from a relationship. You've been through that heartache. You've been through that loss. It's easier for you to pick up the pieces and go. But when it comes to kids, it's harder for them. Like you might think of them in school. You got one teacher out of maybe 20 that they relate to and that they can open up to and they can learn from. Same thing, you know, when it comes to a coach, you know, even when it comes to a relationship, if that child has opened up to you, if that child feels comfortable for you, you're one of maybe 5 people that they're comfortable talking to, and now you're just going to be like, oh, well, sorry, gotta go. It's hard. It's hard for it. It might be hard on you, but it's even harder for them because you're one of, like I said, maybe a handful of people that they feel like they can truly talk to and open up and be themselves around. So leaving that is more difficult than it seems.
I agree. I totally agree with that. It's a tough dynamic, man. It's a tough job, but shit, somebody gotta do it. All right, so I know we probably running a little short on time, so let's skip and let's get to the one that I guess that motherfucker that's up there on the topic list, huh? Oh boy, Lord have mercy. All right, I want no fighting.
Uh-oh.
All right, real shit. I gotta know, especially as a man. What the fuck is child support for? like I have, as a man who pays this shit, and I'm almost done. Yeah, I would say out of all my kids, I only got one kid left, and I'm saying he's right there. He's about to graduate high school. Yeah, I'm saying so he's about to go like a child support party and shit. But no, real shit though.
It's gonna be Mark's graduation party.
Man, you have no motherfucking idea, bro. But you know why? Because it's still, no matter what you're paying, it depends on who you are. Depends on who the fuck you are. Because I know some motherfuckers. You still gonna do. Like you could pay $2,000 a month, but if they still call, be like, "Yo, I need such and such," you still gonna do it. And motherfuckers ask you like, "Why you do it? You pay this a month?" Because I don't know what the fuck child support is for. As a man, I got no problem fucking saying that. I have no idea. And Renette, I am so sorry that you are the only female on this panel right now. So for all the men listening, you gonna really have to explain to us what the fuck is child support for?
Okay, so and here's the thing, and I can't even. So I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm not even. I'm probably not the best. Okay, I'm probably not the best example to explain that, but I'll do the best that I can. All right. So so child support really is to ensure that there is a shared financial responsibility for children that live in a parent's home. Now, what is taken into account is the time, like I'll say it like this, time on task, like the time that the child spends in each person's household. So literally it could be joint custody, but the time that the child spends in the like the mother's household could be more time than spent in the father's household, or vice versa. And so that is taken into consideration when, when the cost of said those responsibilities, such as housing, whether it's rent, food, water, like utilities and that kind of thing. For me, it's not, how do I say this? It is his responsibility to do it. But those are my children. And so because they're my children, then if he didn't, I was going to. So I am accountable to them. I'm not accountable to him. They do not need to go without because he chooses how he what he wants to do, when he wants to do it, or how he, that is of no consequence to me. It is important for them to have what they need, and I need to ensure that all of their basic needs are met, but they should be able to go to prom. They should be able to get their hair done. They should be able to do all of the things that little girls need to, or young ladies, young women need to do, without having to hear no from him because he doesn't want to do it. And so sometimes what happens, and this is where it gets real thick for men and women in this conversation, is where the emotions for men most of the time is attached to their money, especially when it comes to the child support. That's a hurtful thing, especially if it seems like it's not being used for the child. But used for the child, I know for myself, he gonna pay for it. He's going to pay child support, but his child support is spent before he pays it. And I assume most of the costs. If I told you how much he pays, y'all would be like, what? But here's the other part of it. I don't put him on child support through the child support system. I put him on child support through the court, through the divorce. I have not gone back for an increase because I understand that I make more money. And again, these are my children. So it's not about being petty or about being emotional. It's about making sure I'm going to make sure they have what they need. So it depends on the woman that you marry, or that you have children with. And that's another conversation as well. Because my two that's in there, I look at them and hear them and talk to them, and I look at, like, who wouldn't, and if he doesn't, that's his loss, not mine. They're my blessings.
All right.
That's kind of how I think of it.
Yeah. Rick.
Yep.
Yeah, Dr. Coleman just quieted the whole room.
I do the best that I can.
Yeah. How do you feel about the whole? Oh shit! Rick done paid child support day in his life. How you feel about the whole child support?
I'm going to say this, and this people probably just mute this right now. He's like, he ain't got no fucking kids. He don't know what he's talking about. But me personally, you could look up and how much it costs to raise a child a year. And this was years ago. Last I knew, they said that the average cost of raising a child annually is like 10 to 12 grand per year. And people are getting mad that they got to pay a couple $100s a month. That isn't, I mean, you're not covering cost of diapers. You're not covering the cost of food. You're not covering even if that money, like Dr. Coleman said, that money's already spent. You're not paying child support. You are reimbursing that child's parent for the money they've already spent. So no matter what they spend that money on, no matter what it goes to, that money's already spent. They already put you on credit. You know what I mean? You're already paying it. It doesn't matter what they spend that on. And a lot of people get mad. Like, oh, why is this person getting her nails done and I'm giving her money to, to support my kids? Don't matter. Does not matter. They already spent their hard-earned money. It doesn't matter where that money goes. Personally, I think child support is there. If I'm going to say this, if your child is taken care of, who cares what that money goes to? Now, if your kid's going out and they're going out and doing things and they're going out on fancy dinners and they're, your kid's wearing, sneakers with holes in them. They ain't got new clothes. They're sending them to school looking like, they just rolled off the street. You know what I mean? It's a different story. But if your child's taken care of, then who cares what that money goes for? Me personally, I've never been on that thing about money like that, because I'm the type of person, man, I spend money. I buy nice things, but I give people money if it meant supporting my kids, because I'll go out and make more money. You know what I mean? I work. I will earn more money. That money don't mean nothing. I could always go make more.
That's right. And that's another thing too. It's very difficult to ask for it. It was, and here's the other part of that. So for most people in marriage or in relationship, the relationship could have broken up because of money. So if the relationship broke up because of money, or money had an issue, or money was one of the issues, then here's the other part of that equation. It's going to be an issue after as well. And so the conversation around money is going to be an issue if it was an issue in the marriage or in the relationship, and how the money is being distributed for the kids' needs. I can remember one of my girls wanted to go to an event, and I talked to their dad about it, and he said, well, maybe she shouldn't go. What? What did you just say to me? Maybe she should not go? Whatever. That was the last time I asked him 2 other times to contribute to something, and after that it was a wrap. I'm not asking you to contribute nothing else. We're not sharing. We're not doing halfies. We're not doing partnerships. We're not doing nothing, because now that's where my pity come in. I'm not going halfies on no Nintendo, no nothing. I'm gonna either get it or I'm not, because when it comes to them, I don't want to create this narrative where they're insecure about money because they don't know if it's going to get done. When it comes to me and their dad, they need to have a relationship regarding money with individually, not with us being inconsistent together. So,
well, I think there's a very fine line there, and I also noticed that when it comes to stuff like that, and again, I haven't been in this situation, but I've seen it play out. I've seen couples argue over money, stuff like that. And what I've noticed over those times is the kids also see who's putting in that effort, who's sacrificing, who is willing. Now, you don't have to give your kids the world. You can say no from time to time. But your kids will notice when you're struggling and you put in that little bit of extra effort, and who's willing to and who's not willing to. So it goes a long way towards building a better relationship with your kids like that too. So it's hard to say, it's hard to take a hard stance on that. But, it really does affect not only your relationship with your ex, with your kids. There's so much involved in it that not putting in the effort, it's the same as not putting in the effort in any other part of your relationship with the kids or their parent.
Good. Good points all around. Especially as a parent who pays child support for considerable amount of fucking time, considerable amount of fucking years. you know, you can get mad, you get hated, or it is what it is at the end of the day. And talking to people, and like right now, I have a situation where, I have a kid looking at college, and the conversation came. I'm like, hey, she was like, hey, let's do a car. My smart ass, or whatever the fuck you want to call me, I'll say no. For one, the kid is not working. I grew up in a household where my dad always told me, if you want something, you come at me with half the money as a man, and I will meet you half the way. So that's how I look at my children, even though one of them don't have a fucking job. So it's kind of hard for them to go a half. But however, it's really not hard. Why? Because I give them the child support, and I also give them a weekly allowance. I give them the allowance with that mindset of, you want something, come at me with half, so you can never say you never got, because I'm giving you extra money. So I'm teaching you, this is how you come at me with your half. Does it work like that? Fuck no.
No.
It never, like, my plan is to teach them that, but somehow that shit goes in one ear and out the other, and I'm like, dude, that's why I'm giving you the extra, so when you come at me for the half, you already got it. So the car situation, I'm like, no, I'm not feeling the car situation because he's not working. Meaning, we got insurance you got to pay for. Even if you buy the car flat out, you still got to pay insurance and you still got gas. If you're not working, guess what? Who's going to pay that car insurance? Who's going to pay that gas? Your parents are going to have to do that, and I'm refused to do that. And if you're listening, I guess you got my answer right here and there. Like, nigga, it just ain't popping off like that. And that's me trying to teach you how to be responsible about it. Because by the time I was his age, my dad was already dead. No one set me down and taught me how to maneuver through this shit of man, from teenage kid to man. No one taught me. That's why I fucked up so much.
Yeah, shoot, we're all in that boat.
We're all in that boat.
Yeah, so I'm trying to teach him, like, yo, you want a car? Cool. Get a job. Start to save up. Prove to me that you can handle gas. Because I'm not here for you to call me every fucking Wednesday and Thursday, be like, yo, Dad, I need gas money. Because I'm gonna say, yo, drive your ass down here in New York. I'm gonna drive your ass up to New York. Come scoop me the fuck up. I'll drive us back to NC. I'll pump the gas for you, little nigga, and then then drive me back to New York. Like, I need you to start thinking like a man. And we all know I got another kid that got a baby on the way, 22 years old. Once again, you're trying to teach him how to maneuver from a teenager to a man, now to a father, while you're still learning how to be a fucking man. Nigga, this shit is hard. I'm 50 and I'm still fucking up. So the child support situation for me is, I'm gonna do what the fuck I gotta do, pay what the fuck I gotta pay. But I'm still here to help raise you, to teach you about money management that no one ever taught me, that I had to learn through trials and tribulations, through fuck ups and more fuck ups and more fuck ups. I know what it's like to have money. I know what it's like to be broke. I'm here to teach you. Well, my kids don't know, even if you're listening, cool. Like they graduating. Well, one is graduating. So I ask people, hey, what's the perfect graduation gift? And if my son, if you're listening, I guess you're about to find out what the fuck you're getting for your graduation. Real shit, because I'm about to tell everybody what the fuck you get. It's not a car. I'm getting you the simplest shit ever. I went out and brought you, I'm not going to say the price of it, because, whatever. Somebody might rob you. But I went out and brought him a fucking watch. Because as a man, I'm sorry, if I'm about to offend somebody, I truly, truly apologize. But there comes a point where I believe, as a fucking grown man, you should not be walking around with a fucking Apple Watch on your fucking wrist. I'm sorry if you got one on your wrist right now. I apologize.
I'm looking the other way. I didn't hear nothing.
But I'll do that because I want to teach my sons that as you go looking for this job or you're dealing with this individual, have a nice shirt on, have some nice pants on, have some nice socks. Right. But people when they talking to you, they look at search, they look at your shoes, they look at your face, and they want to always look at what's on your fucking wrist. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to teach them, like, and Dr. Hernandez, like, I collect watches. Mm-hmm. I love watches. I do have a digital watch that I wear to work because you ain't fucking them up. Expensive ass watch that fucking work. But you know, I like Invicta watches. Them shits are not fucking cheap.
No.
So yes, I brought my son 2 of them. Because for one, he's looking for a job. So when you walk into that building or that company, I want you to be presentable. So my graduation to him, yes, it is 2 watches because it ain't about a fucking car. You about to go out into this real world, bro. And I want you to be fucking ready for it. I want you to dress the way that I think you should be dressing. Not saggy ass pants, not dirty ass fucking sweatpants, right. Saggy ass shorts. I want you to be on point. So, yes. Oh yes. Anybody know yes? And I got some sunglasses. My sunglasses are like $400, so I got him like half price of that shit. But still, it's all about him being presentable. Because you're out here in this real world now, and I want you to look like you are something because you represent me and your mother and whoever else you fucking representing. So, yeah, that's what all this shit is to me. This whole parenting shit is you know, it's hard work, man.
Well, I would say this, and I'm going to jump in on that because I think it goes back to not being taught the right things as you know, as a teenager, as a young adult, as someone who wears an Apple Watch. I'm not offended by that because don't get me wrong, I wear that shit every day. But when it comes to important,
I'm sorry.
No. Hear me out, because like if I wear that on a day-to-day basis, I'm good. But if I go to a wedding, if I go to anything and a good job interview, I'm not wearing my damn Apple Watch. I'm putting on my good watch that's been sitting in the drawer that's nice, clean, sharp, looks right. Okay. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, that's what I meant. Exactly. Rick was about to couch like, oh shit, I didn't diss Rick now. Rick about to hurt me. I'm talking about his motherfucking Apple Watch and shit.
But it goes back to, you know, all these things you're not taught as a teenager, as a young adult, and those are the things you got to know. And one of the things that I think of, and this is totally off topic, one of the things that's always stuck in my head that people are never taught, there's a big difference between an expensive suit and a tailored suit. You know what I mean? Look the part. Don't just go out and spend money because it's expensive. Go out, get it tailored to fit you, to make you look the best it can look, and then go from there.
All right. So we got also Dr. Renee she's about to get ready to go. It's time for her to break off.
I want to come back though. I enjoyed talking to you all. So when y'all do your next one, let me know.
Of course. Anytime, right? That's okay. Go ahead and handle whatever it is you got to handle.
I appreciate you.
Of course, I'll let you know when the next one, when the next show is about to pop off.
I think I think we got a new brand. We might have to brand some adult care boxes.
Yeah, no, I see Julio down there over there.
Next an adult beverage.
So we getting shirts.
He wants shirts in his box. I want adult beverages. That's what I want. Adult beverages.
I see you down there. So you guys sending boxes. We getting shirts.
Whatever helps us, man. Whatever gets us through this adult in life.
Right. God, and we got themed shirts already, so I think we got this thing going. We got the Mass Podcast got boxes.
I can't.
We got merch.
I can't. Y'all doing too much.
Addison will be like, do you get the word out? Did you get the word out?
I ain't messing with her. Not one bit. But no, I know you got the other obligations, but I do want to sincerely thank you for stopping past again. You're welcome. Anytime. I know you don't know sports, so I ain't talking no sports with you, lady. But that's a whole nother thing.
Cowboy.
That's not even that's not even a real team. But we're going
over here. So,
that's really not a real team.
I might be ready. I might be ready for that.
No, I'm sorry. There's no cowboy chat on this show at all. When we talk about real teams. You have a good one.
We'll circle back later. Thank you.
Thanks for being on. Oh, damn.
Rick. Yeah.
Dang, that was a good one.
I know, right? That was a pretty nice show. We just need one more female. Chrissy, if you watch it, we need you to come on. If any other females watching the show right now, if you want to come on and talk about anything relationship wise, hell, if you even like sports, we always love to have a male and a female perspective. There's no way in hell that two men should be sitting here talking about, relationships without the female perspective. I hate watching podcasts where it's like three males sitting around in a fucking circle, each got a microphone, and they talk about relationships. Like,
just saying the same shit.
You're excluding the females. Like, you cannot speak for them. Just the same way you can't have a podcast with like all females trying to break down a relationship from a point of like, dude, you need to have a male to speak. Like, that's the only way this works. That's the only fucking way this works. I never want to have a podcast where it's just one-sided.
Right.
So that's why we had to do the show. I'm sorry, Rick.
No, I say, how do you learn? How do you grow like that? Just always agreeing with each other. You're always seeing one side of the coin. Like, what the hell's the point of that?
Yeah, that shit sucks ass. Like, there's no fun in that. There's no dialogue. Like Rick said, you cannot grow because more than likely every man is going to fucking agree with each other. Like, oh, all women are fucking terrible. All they do is spend a child support. If it was me, Rick, and two other dudes on this show, that's how that conversation would have went. Oh, my baby mama just be taking my child support money and spending it on fucking, crab legs and all kinds. That's how that would win. That's why it was good to have Dr. Coleman on the show so she can explain, like, yo, when you send that money, this is what I do with it. I break it down here, or what she said, you're reimbursing me the money that I already spent. Because in my mind as a man, I'm like, yo, what you doing with my money, yo? Like, for sure. I mean, it's real shit. As we talk about marriage, I want to know how the female mind thinks, because I may think something fucking to like, I may not be ready for marriage, but in her mind, she may be like, well, I gave you the time needed to grow and find yourself. I'm like, oh, that's what the fuck you were doing.
Right.
So I need to hear that from a female. I can't hear that from Rick. I love Rick, but I cannot hear that from Rick.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, so once again, any female listening, if you're not afraid to come on, I think we can block it where no one has to see you. There's probably a way to do that. But if you want to come on and give your point of view, we would love to have you.
Shoot, grab a mask. We've got this.
Like, real shit, I would mail you a mask. Like, I got 100 of these motherfuckers floating around the damn house. Like, I would mail you one. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to put your name up. We could put mask woman or some shit. I don't know. Fuck.
We'll figure it out.
But all in all, though, like, everybody know the basis of the show, man. We just here to have fun, talk shit and learn about each other. We want to thank Dr. Coleman for coming on. This was her second time on the show. I don't know what we're going to talk about next week, Rick. What the fuck haven't we touched on?
We touched on a little bit of everything. Movies, TV, shoot. We went comics, the comic book movies, relationships. We're missing something, I'm sure, but we'll figure it out eventually.
It's one thing I do want to touch on, but it's like, it's so scary to touch on it because you got to find another person that's willing to open up. Like, both my parents are gone. And I went through a Great Depression stage, losing my mom 2 years ago. But there's a female that I went to college with who just lost both of our parents like within like a 6-month time frame. Like, I want to ask her to come on, but I'm also kind of terrified because I don't know how she will respond. And I don't know if she's ready to talk about it on a platform yet. However, I know that's something that a lot of people are dealing with is that grief and how to deal with it. So I don't know how to approach her with it. I think come out, and just like, yo, you fucking ready to talk about it? Like, like I don't know.
Well, it might be one of those things that we might have to struggle through ourselves, because I've been through it myself. So I think, maybe the hardest part is getting people to understand that there are people that understand, and that could be part of the conversation. The biggest thing to understand is like everybody wants to reach out when it first happens, but months down the road, when you're not really, when you're back into your rhythm, you're back into your routine, and you feel kind of lost and lonely. Yeah, it would be nice to know that there are people out there that can have these conversations. So you might have to ease into it. We might have to just struggle through it with what guests we can get, and maybe that person comes on later on. I think there's definitely an avenue to go there. I wouldn't mind it. I'm sure I got some pent up feelings that I could freaking discuss. So yeah.
And that's the other hard part. Like, you know what I'm saying, is everybody willing to be that open on a platform where we got, possibly like 100-some people watching it, motherfuckers just be breaking down and going like, that's a
no promises.
Like, man, like I got some pent up feelings about it that, I've never expressed, and I'm afraid if I start talking about that shit, I don't know what they come to fuck out. Like, but that's where I'm at with it. So, you and I, we'll talk off camera about it and see, which direction we want to go in, if we really want to go this route, because it's something that I've been thinking about since we started the show. I was like, I don't know if I should bring this shit to Rick yet.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought about that shit too. I'm like, man, that's a great. I'm serious. I'm like, that's a great topic to talk about, but it's gonna be hard for probably both of us, and it's been years for me, many years, and I'm sure it'd still be rough.
Fuck it. I mean, fuck it. Let's do it. I mean, you what? Like, we can set that shit up for next Tuesday.
There you go. Sounds like we made a decision. We're good.
All right, so there y'all go. Now we know next Tuesday the topic of conversation will be, how to deal with grief, loss of a parent, loss of a loved one. If you want to come on and talk about it, please let us know through the social media channels. No judgment at all. This probably be one of the realest conversations we have, because I got some shit I want to get off my chest, and I know Rick got some stuff he want to get off his chest. Losing parents, not having parents at this age. Like, I have no parents, I have no grandparents. Like, this shit is, I'm about to become a grandparent. Like, this shit is rough. So next Tuesday, I check with Rick and see what the schedule looks like. So next Tuesday or Wednesday, the topic will be how to deal with grief from a loss of a loved one. Plain and simple. Shit. With that said, Rick, once again, bro, it's always a pleasure. We rock hard together. For the past damn near, decade and shit. It's about 8:00. NBA is on. I'm about to go finish cooking my chicken breasts and shit. Get some. I traded my shift tomorrow. Somebody's looking for an extra shift. I was like, you know what? I don't feel like getting out of bed tomorrow. So dude was like, he was like, who got a shift tomorrow that they want to give up? Who don't want to work tomorrow? I was like, you know what? Man, fuck that shit. It was raining today. I'm like, I'm tired. I want to catch up on X-Men. I started watching Bosch. I'm like, I'm just gonna lay in bed tomorrow. I don't have to work.
Hey, need it every once in a while, right?
Yeah. I need a fucking break. I'm an adult, as Dr. Coleman was saying, adulting is rough, so I'm gonna take a break tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Like what the fuck? And in about 12 minutes, I think the NFL schedules come out. I think they come out at 8.
Yep.
So fucking real. I'm gonna sit back and see who my Eagles play in 2024. What days, and that's pretty much the basis of my night there, man.
I mean, shit. I mean, how many times have we had that conversation? There's no one when to say fuck it and just take a break.
Word. Like, I need a break. So I'm off tomorrow. Shit. Sounds and I don't think you've even hit me yet, because I never take a day off. So I don't think it hit me that, I don't got to get up in the morning. Like, oh shit.
I'm sure you're still gonna find something to get into. You always do.
My ass. I'm sitting here like, what? Yeah, I'm like, what I'm about to write, or what I'm about to do, Like, what kind of promo am I about to say on my phone to make up now this shit? No, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you the bug shit right now. While we've been sitting here talking for the past 10 minutes, we're still 77 people still watching us talk.
All right.
So for everybody that's watching, Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Love it.
Because I would have been signed off about 20 minutes ago when we started talking about some bullshit. But y'all stayed on. Man, thank you for the support in our last, I think it's like our 5th show. Yeah. It's like our 5th show. So thank you. Next week, man, we're going to touch on some real topics about grief and loss and how to deal with it, at least how we think we should deal with it, because I haven't dealt with it. I'm still dealing, whatever. But
might have to shut my camera off from time to time.
Yeah, I mean, like real shit. And that's why I didn't want to do it, because I know, like, I don't cry, but I'm afraid that if I start talking about this shit, because I don't talk about it. I never talk about losing my mom, because I don't want to cry.
Right. Yeah.
So
we'll get through it.
Yeah. Somehow we'll get through it. I just hope that once we finish, y'all don't be messaging me, be like, yo, because I don't know what's gonna happen at the end of the day, man. But Rick, I do want to thank you for agreeing to even do the show.
Oh yeah.
Not just this one today. I'm talking about that one that we got coming next week. I want to thank you for thank you.
I felt that, honestly. I swear to God, I was thinking about it probably last week. I was like, yo, that's a great topic. And I know we've both been through it, but I didn't know where you were in this whole process. So it's a lot to deal with. So I didn't want to bring it up the same way. So.
I don't know where I'm at in this process. That's why I'm scared. I don't know where I'm at in this process, man.
Yeah, for sure.
But, we got to talk about it, because I'm pretty sure somebody, even after 70-something people that's still on, it got to be at least one person saying, like, damn, they might be feeling the same way that I'm feeling as well.
Yep.
So maybe out from 70-something people, maybe we can help that one fucking person, and they can be like, yo, you know what? Let me call up, let me get on and talk about my issues. And maybe we all just sit here and just fucking help each other, because that is some tough shit to go through.
Oh yeah.
And as grown men and women, we don't deal with it when it happens, because we got other shit going on. But one day it hits you like, fuck. You know what? I ain't about to get into this, because I'm about to get into this shit now. But I was about to go into it. Right?
Cut.
I was about to go into it. But anyway, Rick, we're going to end this show, man. I want to thank you for another great episode, brother. It's always fun rocking with you. And, I can't wait to see. Well, anyway, we talk every fucking day anyway, so.
Right. We got this. We got to come up with a good script. We're going to make it work, man. We'll find a way to reach out to people. It's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
No doubt. All right. See you next week.
Have a good one.
All right. Have a good one.